Hey guys, it's Rebecca, and if you're watching this video, I'm assuming it's because you're very nosy and you want to know more info about my story time that just blew up. So today, I'm going to be responding to all the juicy comments. We're going to be looking into some theories, and then I'm also going to give you guys my updated makeup routine because it's changed a lot since that video. In that video, I'm using the Whip sunscreen, which I still have. I just haven't used it in a while. Since it's winter, my skin is so dry, and I've been using the Beat the Sun by Crave Beauty because it is so insanely hydrating. I only have like this much left of it, and it's actually so good. I'll probably go back to the Whip one once I finish this one. I always have to start my routine with something glowy, and this time we're using the In Beauty glow thingy. This is also super hydrating. She just looks like this and I love her so much. I screenshotted a bunch of comments. Let's get to the first one. One of the first ones I found is, what foundation did you use? You look so stunning. Perfect. I actually ran out of that foundation that I used in that video, but it was from the brand Espresso. It's a small Italian brand and it was a skin tint. It's the most beautiful skin tint like ever. I honestly need to repurchase it, but for now I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk and I'm mixing two colors together. My skin is like in an in-between shade right now and I don't want to buy another one. If you want like a little more full coverage, this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk also gives like the same glowy look but with way more coverage. I always just use a sponge to blend everything out. This is just the one from Real Techniques. You can get it like at Target, and you can also get it on a pack on Amazon of 3 for like super cheap. Whenever I just needed a little extra coverage, I always take this Huda Beauty concealer. It's the faux filter one. It's also empty. This one is so good at covering like any marks or blemishes. It's so full coverage and it literally blends into your skin and makes it look like you're not even wearing makeup. Next comment. I got one comment saying to not tap the products. You know what? You guys confuse me because some people really love it and some people hate it. But you know what? You're in luck because I just chopped off all of my nails. So now I literally can barely tap anything. Now I'm using the Lancome All Over Concealer. This one's actually really good. At first I hated it, but now I'm like obsessed with it. It's so good. And now I'm gonna address the comment that you guys have probably all been waiting for. I got a million comments saying, I think she had a crush on you, that she likes me, that she's in love with me, that she's a lesbian, all of that. Those comments, I got so many of them. Also using the One Size translucent setting powder. This is like the best powder I've ever tried. I already talked about this in a YouTube short and posted it, but it didn't get that many views. So I'm gonna retell this story and you guys can give me your thoughts in the comments. This is the Dibs Beauty Contour Stick. So for the remainder of the whole time we were friends, she had a boyfriend the entire time. And keep in mind, we were friends for less than a year. She was kind of a friend of a friend situation. Like, I didn't personally sought out to be friends with her because I knew the moment I met her that we weren't the same vibe, which is fine. I knew in my head that we weren't gonna be best friends because we were just too different. I also don't know what brush brand this is. I want to say it's Real Tech. No. It's It Cosmetics, I think. I'm not sure. Like, literally all the branding is off of it. Also, like, my intuition does not lie. Like, I always know what someone's intentions are, and I just knew that this girl and I weren't gonna be close. I would call her my placeholder to like my friends and like at my family members, like to my actual friends, because like we would have a fun time, but also like I knew we would never be able to get to that level of friendships because there was just something always off about her. And this is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Hope. This shade of blush, you guys, if you have not tried it, oh my gosh, it's literally amazing. Right off the bat of our friendship, I noticed that she was way too comfortable with me. Like, she would literally flash me, all this stuff change in front of me, which I'm like, I know some people are like that, so I was like, whatever. I'm not a weirdo to kind of be like weird about it. Like, I kind of would just like move forward and not say anything about it. So she was definitely like an open person about that, and I just wasn't. Like, I'm a very closed off, mysterious person is what I've been described as, and just a very shy. And she was polar opposite, very outgoing, like the life of the party, always loud, always wanting to do something. And you know, like, that's just not my vibe. I love a peaceful vibe, and she was not a peaceful vibe. I'm gonna briefly summarize the story because it's not my story to tell, and I just want to be respectful of everyone involved. So basically, this girl that I'm no longer friends with, she had another friend outside of our friend group who basically, how do I put this without getting like in trouble? This other friend had assumed that she was into girls, which is valid, because I could definitely see why that other person had thought that, because the other person involved was bisexual, so she like kind of hit on my ex-friend, you know what I'm saying? My ex-friend did not take that well. I remember she was so upset about it. Like, she like called all of my other friends and was just like, I can't believe she would think I was into girls and blah blah blah, like that's so disrespectful, I can't believe she would do that to me. I'm like completely cutting her off. That's the end of the story. Everyone's saying that she's a secret lesbian. What do you take from that? Do you still think she is? Honestly, the fact that she was so defensive over it kind of proves a little more, because if someone thought I was a lesbian, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Because like when someone says something that's obviously not true, it does not offend me. But if it has a little truth behind it and you get offended, it's like, why'd you get offended if it's not true, you know? I got distracted and went a little overboard on the blush, but I have been loving putting powder blush like everywhere, like into my creases of my eyelids. And this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Glow Blush in shade 52. That's all it says. I also had never asked her about her sexuality like previously. Like I said, we were friends for less than a year. I honestly don't care. Like, I don't really care to ask someone. That's just not the type of person I am, so didn't really matter to me. But the fact that she kept wanting to see me change is kind of an issue for me. This highlighter is the Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Mesmerize, and look how freaking pretty this is. I also just love putting it on my eyes right here like this. Just goes everywhere. I got another comment that said my ex-BFF did this to me, and then a month later she came out as bi. A month later, after we stopped being friends, I'm pretty sure her and her boyfriend broke up, but I have her blocked and everything, so I can't confirm if she came out or not. So for everyone asking if I'm still friends with her, like, of course I'm not friends with her anymore. I stopped being friends with her around this time last January because she did something. She had threatened one of my other friends, and I was just like, no, this is your last call. Also, did I forget to mention that one day she showed up at my front door and started banging on it? Yeah. My cats have the major zoomies right now, which is perfect timing for me filming this video. So if you hear little noises in the background, it's both of them being crazy. Right now for my eyebrows, I'm pretty sure I've used the same thing. This is a repurchase of the Rare Beauty eyebrow pencil. This is my favorite eyebrow pencil like ever. I've repurchased it. I never repurchase the same product. I've always loved trying new things, so when I repurchase something, it's a huge deal. Along with the repurchases is the Rare Beauty eyebrow gel. Rare Beauty just kills the eyebrow game, honestly. It's my favorite eyebrow gel I've ever tried. I haven't tried anything compared to it. For eyeshadow, I use this literal, probably decade-old chocolate palette, and I literally just use this one and this one on my eyelid, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy because I literally like put the blush in there, so it's kind of like already done. I just need to fill in the rest. Also got a million comments asking about my eyelashes, my eyelash routine, my eyelash curler, my mascara, and I've switched it up a little bit, okay? Now I'm using the Shiseido eyelash curler because the one I was using in that video broke. So I wanted to try this one because so many people are obsessed with it. Honestly, like, this is so good. It literally curls my eyelashes better than any other one I've tried. I got my eyelashes after I literally only curled them. And if you have really stubborn eyelashes, I feel like the Shiseido eyelash curler probably will be like a heaven sent for you. It's so good. Oh, my camera battery died. L YouTuber. Anyways, the current mascara I'm using is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. I was using the Rare Beauty one for a while, still really love it, but recently I used this one and I was like, wait, it's kind of really good, so I've been using it a lot. I also got a few comments saying that why I just didn't talk to her and tell her that I felt uncomfortable. To that I say, if I have to tell you after you can see, like, you can read my body language, you can, like, if I have to tell you, we're clearly just don't click, and that's fine. I've never had that issue with anyone else, so I'm like, why is it just an issue with her? And also, like, this wasn't a one-time occurrence. This was just the one time where I was like, when she had to add, but you're not showing me. Like, that was where I was like, oh, hell no. Like, this is not okay. Because, like, there was multiple instances where she would, like, get kind of upset. I'd often just be like, oh, like, I'm just gonna change in the bathroom, and she'd be like, oh, why? Like, it's just fine, just change out here. And she was so comfortable in changing in front of me. I think because she tried to be so comfortable doing that in front of me, she kind of wanted it to make me seem like, oh, well, if she's comfortable doing that, then I can do the same. But I'm not a follower, babes. Like, I will always do things in my own benefit because I come first, okay? And that's how all of you should be too. You should come first. Do what makes you comfortable. If something makes you uncomfortable, don't do it, period. That's literally it. I'm fine changing in front of people. I usually don't care, but when something in your gut is just telling you like you're uncomfortable and something's wrong, then obviously you're not gonna want to, and that's what happened. Like, I would change in front of the other girls in my friend group and I just didn't care because I obviously knew they weren't looking at me in that way. But once you get like that feeling that you're like, oh, like maybe I don't want to change in front of you, then you get that feeling and you don't do it. I honestly would have never been friends with her in the first place, but the issue is that I was in a friend group of 5 and they still had a really good relationship with her, so I wasn't going to be that one person to just like cut everyone off or explain to them why I'm no longer want to hang out with them. Like, I just didn't want to disrupt the friend group, so it was like, I'm gonna put my feelings aside and just go with it. I only have to deal with her for a couple of hours. It's not bad. During the time I was friends with her, I had not met my current best friend in LA, and that was really hard for me because I was very lonely before I had met her. I also had no car, so I was stuck in this city that I live in and I couldn't really go very many places. So if I wanted to venture out, if I wanted to go on little adventures, do things, go to the beach even, I would do it with my friends because they had a car and I could just tag along. But the issue with that was she would always also be there. So it was kind of just like I was in a weird sticky situation that it was just like, you know what, either deal with her for a little bit or never leave your apartment. And I would get so sick of being in my apartment all day that dealing with her wasn't bad. I also want to say that like not all of the times we had were terrible. Like, we did have some good times, but it had to come to an end. Now that I'm not desperate for friends like I once was, I realized that me myself am enough for me. Like, I am enough for me. I'd rather not be friends with someone who would put me in these uncomfortable situations, say the most insane things to me. And I just realized I don't need friends that are gonna put me in uncomfortable situations because, again, I'm coming first. This just became the talk of my friends and family, like my actual friends and family. And everyone was genuinely so concerned for me. They were like, you need to stop being friends with this girl like as soon as possible. And I'd just be like, I'm trying. There's more insane things that she had done that would probably like warrant a restraining order. All of you would be like, I don't know how you stayed in that friendship so long. And you know what? I'm just glad I didn't stay in it any longer. If you guys want to hear those stories, like, let me know. I will tell them. One thing about me is I've always attracted the most insane friends that are like weirdly obsessive and possessive and just like scary. In high school, I almost had to get a restraining order against someone, and I almost did, but then COVID happened. So if you want to hear that too, because I'm also traumatized by that. There's just so many things I want to talk about in this video, and I feel like I've gone on so many tangents, but sorry. And by the way, this is the LA Girl Precision Lip Liner in the shade Blushing. It is so good, and I'm pretty sure it's only $1. And today I feel like using the Rhode Peptide in Cinnamon Roll. I haven't used this since like Christmas, and it smells bomb. Also just like so pretty and sparkly. Look at that, isn't that so cute? Setting spray, the Milk Hydro Grip. The best setting spray ever. As you can see, I need a refill, but I already have one, so I'm just using like the rest of this. And this stuff, I'm not even kidding, your makeup will last all freaking day. To anyone that is going through a similar situation in your friend group, your friends, I want you to know you probably need to stop being friends with them. I know it seems hard and daunting, but it just needs to be done. Once you leave that friendship, I'm not even kidding, once I like stopped talking to that girl, I felt like this giant weight just lifted off my chest. I'm like, wow, I can be me again. And I don't have to worry about any psycho people showing up at my door and knocking on it, even though that was my fear for months after I stopped being friends with her. I was just afraid I would just see her one day and she would attack me because Lord knows she threatened other people in my life. So with that being said, I love you guys so much. Also, while I was charging my camera battery, we hit 5K subscribers. And all I can say to all 5K of you is that you are the real ones, you are the OG ones, and I will remember you always. I love you guys so much. And let me know what other YouTube videos you want to see next. If you want to see more story times like I got you, comment down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and Bye!